The Pat Mayo Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings 2021 American Express Picks Preview. One and done. We got it for you. You want to play in the DraftKings Listeners League link for the PME? It's filling very quickly. There's no rake. Link is in the description of this video. Smash the like button in the comment section. Tell me who your favorite pick, if you had to, above 50 to 1, or is it below 50 to 1? How about just triple digits? Who's your favorite play in the triple digits in the betting market for the American Express? We've seen some long shots come through at the American Express over the past few years. Strong field, strongest since 2005 as well. What else do I got here? New show, alert, on Mayo Media Network. You got to be subscribed to Mayo Media Network, by the way. But Skylar Hoke of FTNBets.com is hosting, along with Tom Jacobs, the brand new European Tour betting and breakdown show. There's also going to be DraftKings, if that's available when it ends up coming out. As a part of that show, it's going to drop every Monday evening on Mayo Media Network. If you want to get in on the Euro game, that is the show that you probably want to watch. Great field over there this week, too. That's why we were able to put it out early. You got Rory, you got JT, you got Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton. It's a fantastic field over in the desert, so highly recommend that everyone go check that out. Plus, FantasyNational.com. Give your head a shake if you're not a member at FantasyNational.com yet. Jeff, FantasyNational.com/Mayo will get you that discount.
Good times.
I suggest you take it. Members had a very nice week.
I'm excited to watch that Euro show. I know who I want to bet.
Who do you want to bet?
He's Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay. So nothing has changed for you with Fleetwood?
Nope. Nothing at all. These are the type of events he actually does well in.
Didn't he
Not like
didn't
PGA
he get
Tour.
run down by Aaron Jimmy Ray, who wants to know at the end of the year?
At a lot of events, yeah. But I mean, these are the events that he actually plays really well in and potentially can win, unlike things with a PGA label in front of them.
Is this the tournament where the 2 years in a row Sergio won it, then Willett won it, then won the Masters?
I don't know.
Is this the one?
The one where Hautong outdueled Rory?
Yeah. I think this is the one. Dubai.
I know
right?
the schedules could be off because of COVID, but I feel like that, oh yeah, I guess we're right at the Super Bowl time. You could be right. Yeah, is this the corollary event? I don't know. It's a blur.
Didn't work for Hautong.
Hasn't worked for a couple guys lately.
Well, it hasn't worked since.
Probably not.
Since Sergio won, I guess. Yeah. Did Sergio win after Willett? Yeah, he did. He won the year after Willett, I think. Or did Reed win? It's all just jumbled.
No, Sergio put the jacket on. Willett put the jacket on Sergio.
Okay, so there we go. Yeah, it was those back-to-back years probably out of the window now. And it might not even be this event. I'm pretty sure it is, though, because the week that Willett ended up winning that event is the week that we bet him to win the Masters, and we had all the Jason Duffner monies because he won the Career Builder that year.
Okay.
And
now
that's this week.
making more sense.
Remember, Duffner chipped it out of the rocks to beat, I want to say, David Lingmerth that year?
Yeah. And then we were even more the morning after the Super Bowl where Denver beat Carolina. I
got taken, but we had all the Brooks money.
Yes. I always lose my golf money in the Super Bowl. It's like, hey, if you were on Denver last night, go bet Danny Willett. Anyhow, I don't know. Sure, we could always relive good times.
Well, we're trying to relive it this year. We got Neiman.
Well,
Neiman's odds are down to 50 to 1 now.
You know what's funny? Because I guess it was Golf TV or one of those things posted a post of the top 5 in the world that correlated to pretty much exactly when we started doing shows together, doing golf content.
And it was Spieth, Ricky.
Ricky was 5th.
There was only one guy who's still in the top 5, and it was Rory.
Spieth, Rory, Bubba, Day. I don't know if that was the order.
And
Ricky, sorry.
And then Ricky. But the funniest thing is, I think that's the overlooked part about how good Rory is. Maybe he doesn't get enough credit, is that he's been this guy for the past 15 years. There hasn't been Rory fell down to 60th in the world. No, that hasn't happened.
And also, it's crazy to think, and I guess over the years, but there's a time we started the show where it was no, you had to convince people Dustin Johnson isn't a loser.
It's true.
That was a real thing. I also tried to convince people Fowler wasn't a loser, but that didn't happen.
No, that actually worked out for everyone else.
But maybe my greatest claim on everything we ever did was my Spieth take. That it was going to tumble hard.
Remember how much shit we took for saying that Reed was better than Spieth?
A lot.
A lot of shit.
But it felt
Where are those people at now?
But it felt really dumb when we're like, no, why are you betting Spieth at 18 to 1 to win the Masters and you can bet Reed at 100? They're the same guy.
And it took an extra year.
But
we were all good.
We were also, we're just remembering things we're right about, okay? Also about like, no, Justin Thomas is also so much better than Spieth. I don't know what's happening right now, but Justin Thomas is so much better, and he probably knows it because they probably played thousands of games together as the childhood friends. He probably won at a 90% clip. So he probably can't figure out how Spieth's beating him on the real course in life at the moment anyway. Although...
There used to be a narrative around Justin Thomas. I remember he had the back-to-back wins at the CIMB over in Malaysia, and then he won Tournament of Champions.
And then Sony.
And Sony, it's like, he can't win in mainland America.
Can't win mainland. Only wins... I was part of this. Seemed like a type of guy who would only win like birdie parties. Yeah. Like, if it's like under 18 to 1, like 14 to 1, not really a Justin like event. Scoring's like too hard for him. Too sharp.
I'll bet Brennan Grace instead of Justin Thomas.
No, but like when it's a birdie show, those are the events Justin Thomas will be live at. Either way.
It just turns out he's live everywhere.
Yeah, it's been fun. I don't know. Here we are. Not that this is commemorating anything, but that tweet just set off a bunch of thoughts.
Well, I just wanted to relive some of the times that we won because we both lost last week. Bad week.
Per usual.
Neiman my guys, man, on Sunday. Neiman finally got it going. Leishman finally got it going, but they couldn't do shit on the front nine. Neiman's in the water, then he saves par, then he bogeys the next hole. He only needed one of them. It was the putt on 16 that really, and he chipped it on 17 to give himself a shot, which was a nice rebound. But the putt on 16 was going in, bloop, quick right at the last second.
Kirk's putt on 17 also cruelly missed, and he would have missed the party by a stroke, and the door was open.
It was there.
Steele got to 21. It was like, okay, I don't have to look at this anymore. Football's serious. And Steele shat the back nine, kind of like last year. And he left the door open, and someone hit a lot of putts coming home, and that happened to be Kevin Na.
Yeah, Webb was hitting more putts, but his irons were all over the place. The shot he hit on 18 was fucking terrible.
I only saw on the tracker it was too unknown, so you can explain it to me.
He went like everyone. You had to go for it in 2 to give yourself the eagle opportunity, and he just clipped it right, just way over. I think he got it up and down for birdie when all was said and done. But Neiman putting it into the bunker off the tee on 18. The day before he went 7 wood, and hit it to like 5 feet for an eagle. Like, we're trying to win the tournament here. We need an eagle. Take out the fucking driver, man. Like, if he had hit the same shot, because he overcut it to the left, but where he hit a 7 wood, it wasn't long enough to get over the bunkers. If he hit a driver, he would have been clear of it. And he would have had his shot, but here we are. And Neiman.
There weren't any eagles yesterday, though, on 18.
No, but no.
Leishman.
Did Ortiz make one?
If it happened real late.
Leishman had a shot. No, there wasn't. But the guys had opportunities. He had just like a 20-foot putt. Like, Leishman was the closest. Yeah. But I was a Neiman win away from like 20K.
And no, I mean,
it's really gutting. But I want to give a special shout out first to me. No betting winners because Neiman ended up losing. But I turned 300 into 2K on DraftKings, which was nice. Like
shout out.
Said it would have been 20K if Neiman just had won the tournament, which would have been nice. Charles LaRocco, 400 into 1150. Zakos won $3,000, came second, I believe, in the big $3. Brandon Infinger turned 100 into 1,000. UND Lee won $22.50. Trey Howell won $100 in the short game, which I think is the $1 entry contest. Won $1,000, sorry. He won the contest, basically, and won $1,000. And then Dino Maui entered a free contest and won $100. Beat like 3,500 people. So the picks were good. Just couldn't get a winner. Sky, though, hit the winner. I saw a lot of people with the nah winner. I remember when we were talking about that range last week, like, yeah, Kevin Na can most definitely win. We're not going to bet him because we're idiots, though. Bet on fucking Mark Leishman instead. Same price. Nah, 4 wins, 4 consecutive years.
4 wins. I don't want to, like, pin it.
Get him on the Ryder Cup team so I can bet the Euros. He'd be a fun Ryder Cup guy.
Here's the thing. The anti-nah debate.
There's an anti-nah debate?
No, sorry. There's a debate. How do I put this? The wins, every single one of the wins, I want to say lack a little gravitas. Maybe the Colonial win. Was it Colonial last year that he won?
Colonial, Shriners, Greenbrier, now this.
The Colonial win quality the other like because I remember when it was like, oh, he has 3 wins, and it was like, yeah, the Greenbrier swing.
No, it wasn't in the swing season when he won.
I mean, good for him. Get him on the team. I don't give a shit.
He's not going to make the team, but he would have been a good guy to have at the French course.
He's a fun player. He's
But
like,
he would be a good personality for the Ryder Cup. I got to give him so much credit for basically to go back to when we first started doing the show, this was Kevin Na is in the woods and made a 16. Kevin Na has the yips and can't hit his fucking shot in under 5 minutes. He really sorted that out and got his
amazing.
Life back
You love to see it. A couple great stories, him continuing that great path, and even
Kirk.
Chris Kirk
Got his card.
getting that card, the second place, the major medical, like on the final start. He's also the type of guy, like when he's in form, he gets unconscious. He was the one guy even going in on Saturday. I was messing with someone with a NA ticket. I was like, I don't know why Kirk scares me. I wouldn't even know what his pre-tournament number was. And there were huge tickets out there on Steel.
Yeah, 250s.
We spoke about him. I didn't remember it being that big.
It was 200, I think, on DraftKings Sportsbook, at least when we spoke about it.
And people are giving me like a lot of props for like all my Malnati talk.
You just named like 20 guys in the 200s to ask me about.
No, but that was the one I said like I liked the most.
Did you bet it?
No. But people did, and some even have first round leader.
That's huge. Although I think that ended up getting split like 4 ways, didn't it?
3.
By the
but
end
it
of
was
it?
big. Yeah, because who was in that? There were 3 guys in that. No, it's a blur.
Neiman, maybe? Was it Neiman?
Did he hit an eagle to do it?
Can't remember. Chris Kirk was around for a bit. I had someone, and then they made like a triple bogey, and they gone.
I don't know. I wasn't. Forgettable tournament.
I enjoyed it. I actually watched a bunch of the Sony this week.
No, like just going up against the
NFL playoffs?
Yeah, the NFL playoffs and the time slots with like the later games.
My son enjoys watching golf more than football.
Yeah, of course.
So I had the golf on the TV, and I had the iPad set up next to me for the football and watched it that way. So I was actually watching the golf with the sound because he enjoyed it. Shout out to my man, my son, Wolf, 2 years old today.
Oh.
I remember very vividly when he was born, mainly because I rushed in here so we could do that show because Tiger was coming back from
Torrey
the Farmers.
Pines.
Yeah. That's next week. Is Tiger playing next week? Tiger's playing next week.
He's got to be playing, but then isn't it? It's Torrey, then Waste Management, and then Pebble, and then Riviera.
Yeah. And then WGC Mexico, which is in Florida.
And then Honda, which was the last time I was at anything.
Last time we were in Florida.
Yeah, I'd love to be in Florida.
Would you?
Oh, sorry. In like a normal world. Although, yeah, I think I could be in Florida just being responsible.
Yeah. Hit the golf courses.
You just like
it's much nicer than it is.
Yeah, I was
here.
gonna say, like, I don't think I would be doing much different, except the walks would be like
And you could play golf.
go on, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. And the kids could play outside. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Sounds kind of nice.
Yeah.
American Express, formerly the Career Builder, formerly the Humana, formerly the Bob Hope Classic. Used to be 5 rounds. I remember Mike Weir won this one year. It's a course where anyone can kind of win. We've seen Bombers win. Rahm won here. Johnny Vegas has won here. Coincidentally, Bill Haas has won here. Andrew Landry has a victory. Brian Gay has a victory. Just hit your irons, get hot with your putter. Who can make the most birdies? It's one of those events. Patrick Reed has a win here too. I think it was either the Wyndham or this was his first win when he first started getting going. But
It was this.
Was
I
it
want to
this?
say
Duffner's won here.
because then he won Doral.
Yes, and
He's like, I'm a top 5 player, and people got really offended because he has like
the golf world gets like triggered by the weirdest things.
like, God forbid a golfer who has no one else has like extreme self-confidence. He literally has no one else. Like, he's got a small team.
He's got his wife and his brother-in-law. That's about it. And us.
and
us. That's
a few
about Patrick
others,
Reed's
yeah.
team. Changes to the course this year. This is normally a Pro-Am. It's usually played across 3 courses. There's usually a cut after the 3rd round. All of that's out the window this year. No Pro-Am, which is fucking fantastic. So the rounds won't take 90 hours to complete. And it's not even a good Pro-Am. Like the most like famous like celebrity at the Pro-Am for this one's like Ray Romano. He's like, hey, I can't hit my shots.
This Pro-Am's different purpose. This one is really to take
For
care
the executives.
Yeah, the executives, the sponsors. I mean, like your big company executives can show up at Pebble, but this is for a lot of people that are behind the tour. I'm this is like where the guy that probably runs like Valspar gets to play, and everyone else that feeds the tour money to keep it operational. So yeah, it's just executives, not celebrities, right?
There are some, like Alfonso Ribeiro tends to play every
Well, he's
year.
an employee.
George Lopez plays every year. Like I said, Ray Romano usually shows up, but he's getting old now. He was in what was the Scorsese movie that was 20 hours long? He was good in that. From last year.
He was
The
like
Irishman.
the lawyer.
The Irishman. So long. Just
You know what I'm
make it a
watching
fucking
right now?
miniseries, man.
Yellowstone.
Is it good?
Is it good?
That's the Costner show, right?
Yeah, Kevin Costner, my friend, he still got it. That guy captivates a screen. He's mesmerizing. I gotta say.
It doesn't sound like the show is very
No,
good. You just like
did
Kevin
you like
Costner.
Sons of Anarchy?
No, absolutely not. The show is so low.
Okay, so then I would say there are some feels to Sons of Anarchy, but like on a ranch. And like cowboys instead of bikers.
Okay. Cowboys I could probably get behind. There are two shows that everyone really likes that I can't stand.
Are they actually good shows though?
Yeah, apparently, they're fine. I just don't like them. I don't like Shameless, and I don't like Sons of Anarchy.
I don't watch Shameless, and I enjoyed Sons of Anarchy, but it took like a hard fall. But I don't really blame shows for hard falls because that's like, you're a writer, you got this idea, you've got like 2-3 season arc in your head. The show's great.
And they're like, here's a bag of money,
here's
make it
like
7
bags
seasons.
of money, write us 4 more, and you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna be lazy. I'm just putting it on paper. They've paid me. It's over. Like that happens. That happens like 88% of good shows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's very few that that survive through that. But the majority aren't able to.
I'm trying to think of the last show, like the last big show that like stuck.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I rewatched Breaking Bad like over the quarantine. Better the first time around. Still great, but the anticipation that you have, like, I always said that Breaking Bad was the show that was the most like lost in the way that it was set up, not in like the crazy like time travel like weird stuff, but Lost would always end with like a cliffhanger that would be like, oh, I need to see the next one. Breaking Bad was exactly the same way. So it's a perfect binge type show, and that last season would be like, and it was everyone was watching it, everyone was talking about it, but like to me, Mad Men's a much better show.
I like Mad Men a lot, and I didn't really feel a decline.
Mad Men was just, but Mad Men's
But
just
it didn't-
burned
yeah.
the same. Like it started high and it just kind of stayed there.
Okay, fair.
Breaking Bad started off slow, then it got good, then it got really good, then
I'm-
it got really, really
I
good.
can be had with like slow character development. Like I don't mind, but I can like stick with something.
Even The Wire in season 5 fell off a bit. Not that season 5 is like a terrible
Is that like
season.
the school? Like,
No,
is
that's
it
the
younger
best season.
kids?
Season 4 is the best season of The Wire. You can see how interested we are in the American Express.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I said to Pat, I think it's gonna be a short show.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just finding ways to talk. Okay,
right.
sorry.
Let's get into the odds. We can do our TV connoisseur later on.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. It's still going to be a short show. So the odds. Jon Rahm is here. He's won this event before. He's 5.5 to 1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Cantlay is 13 to 1. Reed is 15. Tony Finau, Big Ricky 17 to 1. Scotty Scheffler 19 to 1. Then you got Brooks at 26. Sung Jae at 28. So that's everyone below 30 to 1. The only two I'm really considering here.
That Sungjae number is strong.
Yeah, I like that Sung Jae number, especially
Because why is Scheffler 19 and Sungjae's 28? That seems a little ridiculous. Is there a California tie or something? I don't understand that.
Scheffler was third here last year. So that helps.
And I am banking on that form continuing for someone else. So, okay.
I think it's just because Sung Jae had a bit of a letdown last week.
Whatever. You play 800 times, there's going to be letdowns.
Yeah, especially when you're Andercursed.
Free pass.
Yeah, free pass on the Andercursed. A busy weekend for the Andercursed. Tune in Wednesday.
Wow.
Yet somehow his Super Bowl preseason prediction is still here. He's using the curse very effectively this time around, although his anti-Buffalo Bill stance just has warmed Paul's heart. And you guys got a new coach. We'll talk about everything.
We both got new coaches.
That's correct. So yeah, a lot to talk about. Go back and watch the coaches show from last week if you haven't. Yeah, people are saying, many people say, funniest show of the year.
Yeah, or just
Thanks to you.
give it the download, but watch the last like 5 minutes.
Yeah, the last 6 minutes where you want to go to. What we've seen, I believe it's 11 of the past 12 winners of this event have played one of the 2 Hawaii events. So that would
I believe in that.
That would cross off Brooks right away. I'm just looking for reasons to like get rid of people on this list because I don't really want to bet any of these guys. Scheffler and Im were the 2 that stuck out to me the most, but I don't like that number on Scheffler.
Why did Patrick Reed withdraw?
From what? Sony?
Yeah.
Didn't feel like playing.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
We don't know. It's golf.
Yeah,
They never
like
tell us why
literally,
they withdraw.
like,
I was so jacked to bet Munoz this week after he couldn't make a putt at Sony, and then he withdrew for it. And I was like, shit. We would have got him at like 100-1. It would have been great.
So yeah, I'm not really running to move on any of these guys at the moment.
It's a great number on Brooks. If Brooks is even 85% right, this is a fantastic number. Because he's the best player in this field along with Rahm. If he's right.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Brooks is amazing, and there's no doubt, like pure talent, he's like top 3 in this field, and his win equity is obviously quite high. I don't care what events you think he's better at.
Yeah, he can just go out and win.
I am dumb enough to believe for this week, he's just looking to feel right. Like, I don't even know if scoring is a priority. Maybe I'm stupid.
The tournament,
I have no interest in betting him. Well, I do agree that's a great number. No interest.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that's different this year than most years, I kind of alluded to it off the top. There's no Pro-Am. Because there's no Pro-Am, they don't need 3 courses. Because they don't need 3 courses, La Quinta, the super easy course, that's out of here. So we're not doing that anymore. So now it's a cut after 36 holes instead of 54 holes, and we're only getting 2 courses in the rotation. We have the Nicklaus course, which will be one of the first 2 rounds for everyone, so it's slightly easier than the other course at PGA West, the Pete Dye Stadium course, which has shot tracker, has cameras. Now they're playing 3 rounds there. So this is actually the best thing that's ever happened to this tournament, by the way. For our enjoyment of it. We can make live bets on it because we have stats to look at. We can actually watch the players play for more than, seeing them on Sunday. Remember when Hadwin fired the 59 and they didn't have a camera on him until the whole 17?
And they like ran like pretty much, if you got to watch the Outlaw Tour coverage on Periscope this year, that's how they tried to deliver Hadwin's 59.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it almost guaranteed someone would flirt with a 59 at like La Quinta every year?
There'd be 62, 61s. I would say for like DraftKings Showdown, and when I talk to Rick tomorrow about this, I would target the first 2 days because Nicklaus is only in the rotation the first 2 days. Then it's the weekend at. And both the weekend rounds after the cut are at a course that has shot tracker. Mind-blowing how good this can work out.
PGA West is the one with like you could take a toboggan into the bunker right down the stretch.
So the biggest difference is it's not that the stadium course, that's the Dye course, the stadium course. It's not that it's hard. It's that there are landmines all over the place. You can make big numbers at it. Where at the Nicklaus course, it's just kind of easy. But it's not like Jon Rahm can't go shoot 62 at the stadium course. It's just he could also shoot 70. Because he put it into the water twice or hit one of those stupid bunkers where Nicklaus doesn't really possess that. So I would be stacking the Nicklaus course the first 2 days, even though the scores might be really close to even when it all comes down to it. Let's get into this next range because I think this one is more intriguing. The Mexican Allen Iverson, runner-up last year after a nice charge on Sunday. Abraham Answer, 30-1. The Wolfman, he's back in action. Channeling a Cam. Cam, by the way, is going to be on
Wolf vibes for the birthday.
Wolf's birthday? Yeah, my son Wolf's birthday. Wolf at 30. He hasn't played yet this year, though. He's 30-1. We haven't seen him. Henley is 35. Charles Howell III is 45. Kevin Knock, coming off the win, is 45. Casey's 50. Champ is 55. Your boy, little Ricky Fowler, 55-1. Herman's 55. Zach Johnson's 55. And we'll stop there for that range. Tim has selected,
Yes.
with his one and done pick, the 117th ranked player in the world, Charles Howell III. Why? I have to ask him why he picked Charles Howell.
I guarantee, because if you're like Tim, you said, because we always talk about just play the good players. Like, you'll be fine, just play the good players. I guarantee if you had him rank Charles Howell against this field, he would have him so much higher than everyone else.
Yeah, he's like 12th in the betting odds, so it's not like a horrible pick. It's not like he picked, I don't know, Bo Hogg.
Is he 12th in the betting odds?
Yeah, he is. He's 45 to 1. He's the same odds as Kevin Na, who just won.
Okay, sorry. I just peeked somewhere else where
he's probably like 70 to 1.
60.
Yeah.
And, it's a double scroll to get to his name. Sure, I don't know. He scores. It's like a DraftKings play. I don't know why you want to use him in a one and done.
I'm sitting in 4th in the one and done. The race for the Mayo Cup.
Good start.
Let's go. Hey, better than having my guy miss the cut.
Fair.
We both that answer.
Yeah, I saw you posted an article. I think right before, just as you wrote it, I messaged you. I don't know what's going on this week, but answer stuck out to me. Maybe I'm just blind to the fact that I bet him here last year. He made me a Sunday charge to come in second. Was my one and done here last year. Bet him last week to at least disappointing scoring. But I'm at 33 to 1 on a course that someone is just going to bend this place over. So of the top 10 names on the board, he's my bet.
So with Abraham Answer, and you can check this out in my article up on dkplaybook.com, he drove the ball really well last week. His irons were firing. He lost 2.8 strokes putting in 2 rounds. That is the most strokes he's lost on the greens total since Memorial in 2019 when he played all 4 rounds, and then the Arnold Palmer Invitational in 2019 when he lost 5. He has more rounds gained over 5 strokes, more tournaments gained over 5 strokes putting than he just has negative tournaments putting. So I would expect him to get the putting stroke back. I'm not saying he's going to gain like 8 strokes putting, but that was a very abnormal type of performance from Abraham Answer. And the big thing with him, and when you really go dig into some of the players that have won here in the past, whether it be, Reed is kind of an outlier like that, but we know that.
But anyone can win.
There are certain players where stats can point you in the right direction, and stats just don't apply to some people. Patrick Reed's stats don't apply. Because some weeks he's amazing, and other weeks he's just garbage.
And I've shared this with you many times. I don't even remember where I saw it, but like some golf sport science like broke down his swing from round to round, like week to week. It is almost, it's plain, its consistency is almost unparalleled on tour. Patrick Reed's. Like, there is no almost rhyme or reason to when he will be at hyper success rate. Other guys, as you mentioned, I don't know. Maybe the numbers point you there. I'm blindly on Answer.
Well, the funny thing about Answer is he's been a really good putter. He's a very accurate driver of the ball, and he can be really good with his irons. Not very good around the greens, but that really means a whole lot less this week than it does almost any other week on tour. You're around the green play. Like even last year, looking back at the leaderboard, and we just get stats from the stadium course. So there's only 2 rounds of data to go on if you're looking at that stuff on fantasynational.com or anything like that. But 4 of the top 6 lost strokes around the green last year. Like it didn't really matter. Like very few people are playing from green side. Either you're like in the bunker, have to like chip out to 100 yards, then hit it from there, or you're just on the green, need to make some putts. But the biggest common factor I found between a lot of these winners, Landry included, and Landry is someone who had a second play. He lost in that playoff to Rahm before he ended up winning last year. Really accurate drivers of the ball. And that goes back to 2 things. One, the fewest amount of over 300-yard drives happens at this course every single year because there's so many forced layups because of the Pete Dye design, just a common trait amongst Pete Dye stuff. And all these guys are super accurate. And the shorter hitters can be in play because the bombers have to lay up off the tee. Now, it improves their accuracy because they're not just smashing driver wherever, but like Answer's second in fairways gained in this field.
This is, I know we've already mentioned Hadwin, but he is like,
he's the king. He has the most strokes gained of this course over the past 5 years.
But it's also that type of like prototype player that I really like betting on here. And I know Answer isn't the putter that Hadwin was the year that he got super hot, but it's short hitting accurate,
Good with his irons, can make a few putts. That's the guy that you want.
And that I trust to like do it for me. That I actually want to have my money on to possibly win this.
Well, it's funny because when Adam Long won at 600 to 1, that's the exact formula that he had against Hadwin and Phil. Hit the fairway, hit it to 20 feet, make a few 20-footers. That was his entire week.
He hit that big walk. That was a big walk off.
He was like 30 to 1 that morning against Phil.
We
and Hadwin.
had huge playoff avoidance walk-offs that year, like in a month.
Yeah, because Keith Mitchell screwed me. I think you hit it.
No, I had cashed out though.
Oh, I had Brooks. You had Fowler.
Yeah.
And Keith Mitchell won.
Fowler hit some insane like eagle chip it or like 60-footer. Yeah, the Keith Mitchell putt at Honda, and then this one at I didn't see him hitting that with like Phil. Like screw Hadwin. Hadwin might as well have been someone's caddy. Like Phil staring over him. Like that was big. That was exciting. Has there been a bigger outright 600? I know it like. Maybe.
I don't know what was Gay at
Herman.
When Gay, Herman and Gay.
Gay
probably
wasn't huge. It was such a.
Yeah, it was a shitty event.
It was like a.
Is Herman in the field this week? Because Herman was.
People were messaging me privately. I didn't really get in on anything live like that. That Fantasy National was popping Herman as like a mid-tournament stat guy last week.
Yes, I bet him hard in round 3, and he was running away with everything. Then he triple bogeyed the 16th and took himself out of it. It's like, oh no, Jim Herman, what are we doing here? But this is a perfect Jim Herman type course. Except he sucks at par 3s, which is kind of a key factor. You want to be good at par 3s at this course. Just like Answer a lot here, the fairways. Keep yourself out of making those big numbers. That's how you win at this course. You have to make your birdies, but everyone is making birdies. They have the easiest par 5s between these two courses. I was looking at the events total from 2012 to now. Players are minus 8,000 on the par 5s at these courses. The next closest event is the Canadian Open at minus 5,000. So players are 3,000 more strokes under par on the par 5s at PGA West between the three courses than any other event on
It doesn't matter if you blast it.
Yeah, just you're going to make a ton of birdies. Just don't put it in the water. Don't put it in the sand. Just stay as clean as you can. And we've seen that be, again, like Bill Haas, Adam Long, Andrew Landry, Jason Duffner. That's what these guys do.
So can I just, I guess, rifle a couple names at you that were in this range?
Yeah.
I wish he hasn't played yet. But Paul Casey, California Golf, 50 to 1.
It seems like a really good number, right? Don't we always say that about Paul Casey, that he never wins?
They're going to laugh at us. We're going to be like, in the, lack of a better way of putting it, the Saul Goodman, Casey Vortex. But yeah, I don't know. That sticks out to me. Although I kind of wanted to play guys that have run a couple tracks this year, or that played in Hawaii by a couple tracks at least once. He doesn't fit that bill. And Grillo, but then you have to bet Grillo to win, and that's just a whole other argument.
Yeah, I wish Grillo was like 90. Then it would be fine. But for one, I guess Grillo is what, 60? That's not terrible. I think.
Would you rather Lanto?
Probably.
Because I don't mind him.
Lanto's a guy.
I've heard he's got the parts.
I never like him when he's priced up, though. I always like him when he's way back in the pack.
And can I just?
And we're not even in this range yet that you're talking about, guys.
I thought you rifled them off. I'm sorry.
We can keep talking about them then. We might as well just go to 100 to 1. Because there's not. I've bet one guy in this range I bet two from 30 to 100.
Can I say I'll just say it quickly. DraftKings Sportsbook has an insane Hadwin number.
They also have an insane Gary Woodland number. 90 to 1 on Gary Woodland.
Yes.
Like, would you rather blind bet Brooks at 26 or blind Woodland? Like,
Woodland outdueled him in the U.S. Open. No, I'm joking. I would rather Woodland.
And Woodland hasn't played yet. We don't know what his health status is. He had the torn labrum in his hip. However, 90 to 1 is like, let's gamble. Yeah, okay. Let's gamble on some health here.
Well, just quick, because Hadwin I'm seeing as low as like 60. And there's 100 here, and there's a comfort. If you're a course history guy, that's just something maybe to go off of. Can you make correct me quickly just before I get into it, because there's a point I could expand on. Is there like a desert course correlation to this, or not really at all?
What do you mean? Like how many other desert courses?
I'm just
are
trying
there?
to make correlations
Phoenix?
to like Phoenix because like Finau lost there in the playoffs last year. Brooks has been great at Phoenix. Woodland won Phoenix.
Shez has played
this
really
is like
well
an
with this course.
This is like a Shez Kevin Streelman profile event.
Yeah.
I not to include them with the other names, but desert. I guess not really desert golf. Right?
Steele plays really well at both this place and Phoenix historically. Harris English. I'm surprised Harris English isn't like trying to.
Buddy, he's got too much
No,
money now.
I'm shocked he's not pressing right now because this course
it's
used to be.
true.
I think he's made the cut here every year since like 2011.
Yeah, press. Get on the Ryder Cup. Press.
Yeah, just like
press.
We're hot. You know what? We're splitting tents.
Yeah. So-
Dealers busting everything. Let's just get money on the table.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, honey? We're going to like skip Riviera. I want to play all the like cash loaders. Good for Harris English. I'm sort of lost on where we are.
We're 30 to 100. I bet Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley was actually missed the cut last week because his ball striking was immaculate and he couldn't putt. Keegan was even better ball striking, even worse putting. He lost 7 strokes putting in 2 rounds. Now, I'm not shocked that happened to Keegan Bradley because he sucks on the greens. But I looked at the strokes gained approach numbers for the entire tournament. Keegan was 14th and he missed the cut. He was better than like some of the guys that were inside the top 10 in both driving and irons. And this is, of course, again, he's someone who's hyper accurate off the tee. So I'm not concerned about like blow up in the water type numbers. And we've seen it happens like once every few years, doesn't it, with Keegan?
Yes. My question is
just don't lose 7 strokes. Just putt 0. Don't gain any, lose 1, something like that. You hit it fucking close enough every single time. And this is his sort of event. Like minus 26 is going to win. Let's go. He's 90 to 1. I got him at 125 to 1.
Is this the type of event where like no putt guy can win? Like where like Keegan, Byung-hun, and like, cause I feel like I'm running past winners in my head. And they'll just like
we bet Duffner and he won here. He can't putt.
Yeah, okay. I feel like the recent winners
Landry can't putt.
you just get unconscious.
They're really slow greens. So that does put some of the crappier putters back in it. Or you get your Snedeker types who just have a really great week. And then they just kind of go mental on the greens. But yeah, I just for the way that he struck it last week, I'm willing to put in. It's either 125 or 110. He's 90 on DK Sportsbook. I don't hate that either.
So what about your like Burns and Redmonds?
They haven't played yet. Burns has played this course really well. And I don't think that should be the deciding factor on what you want to bet this week. But I was actually surprised to see, like, honestly, this week, instead of Burns and Redmond at the same price, I would probably rather go, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis, Keegan Bradley, like those guys who just have events under their belt so far. And I don't think that there's a lot of difference. I think Burns and Redmond especially are better players, but not substantially better players. Do you?
If I have to pick a player to win I'll mention is Sam Burns.
And Sam Burns is 80 to 1.
It's not bad.
Good number. I like Champ at 55. Any thoughts on Champ? We've already seen him once this year. Played in the Tournament of Champions. I believe he was... What was he last year? I think he was top 20 last year. I think it's funny because the reason that we ended up on these Neiman futures because we weren't super convinced that Neiman was that much worse than Morikawa and Neiman. Like he was in their category.
You have Champ there?
I don't know if Champ's quite on their level, but I don't think he's distinctly far behind. Because if Hovland was at this event, he would be 15 to 1. And I don't think that Hovland is 4 times better than Cameron Champ, who's won twice on the PGA Tour already. Like this is the mistake that we made with Na last week. They were giving us a Na number where it should have been an auto bet for a guy who wins every year. It's almost like the old Martin Keimer rule. Just bet Martin Keimer. He's going to win once. Just bet him.
The old one. I'm like, has he won like 6 years?
No, we ended up stopping on that in like 2016. But for a while, like just pencil him in. He's going to win big events, and they always give you big odds on him.
What about Charlie Hoffman showing form?
I already bet Charlie Hoffman. 125 to 1 with an each way.
Yeah.
His ball striking was out of control.
just
Could not make a putt last week.
Him with life, this type of place where he
Desert golf? Desert golf Charlie?
Okay.
I have no idea if he... I think that he's played this course well in the past. You got a lot to say this week.
Sorry, man. I don't know. They're all the same effing guy.
Charlie had 3 consecutive top 10s at this course from 2013 to 2015, went on a bad run, made the cut last year. But he's looked different over the past 6 months. It's like he had lost his game. Now he's starting to get it back a little bit. I don't know how consistent he's going to be. But again, he's a long odds type guy, and we've seen a long odds type guy win at this course in the past. I do want to give you some champ numbers from the American Express. He was 31st at the Tournament of Champions, mainly due to a very, very poor putting performance. He was top 20 at the Masters in November. He was 21st at this tournament last year. Really shot himself in the foot around the greens. I just think that he's a guy who can win. Like, he has as many PGA Tour wins in the past 11 years as Paul Casey does.
I like it. I'd rather bet Hoffman than Keegan.
I bet them both.
Okay, I'm gonna throw 2 at you.
Okay. Are we in the 100 to 1s now?
No, they're actually a little shorter, or maybe just at 100, depending on where you're looking.
For the time codes, we'll call it the 100 to 1s.
Okay. I could be tempted to betting both of them. I'm a loser for both of them. EVR or Noren. Noren hasn't played.
Noren hasn't played, but EVR shot himself in the foot last week. The one problem I have with EVR, and if you look at his approach numbers, they were off the charts good. But it was the same when we all loaded on him at the 3M, Minnesota guy. But he had been playing really well going into that tournament. And then you look at shot tracker, it's like, oh, he's in the middle of this lake off the tee. Like, he hits some awful tee shots. And that can really devastate you at this course.
Okay. 100%. My counter to that is I'm making an outright bet.
Okay.
Not a DraftKings, not like a top 10.
Yeah, but I just think he might miss the cut. Like, I don't think that he needs a course, if you're going to bet him, where you can get away with that more than a place where it's really going to.
How did this guy go to Europe, succeed on all these like narrow tracks in Europe, despite not winning? Now he comes here, he can't play on these tight courses.
I just think it's different.
Yeah.
It's a higher quality of player. Like, I'm curious to see where EVR actually ranks.
Ranks in
fairway.
what sense?
I mean, in fairways gained, he's 33rd in this field. Like, he's an accurate player off the tee, but it just seems like he hits 2 or 3 bad drives every single round, doesn't it? Like, I bet on him. I bet on him. I follow him through.
Yeah,
it's
it's going fine.
Man.
It's going fine. You're not sweating anything. And then you're sweating. Like, you can't not sweat something.
Yeah, no, you start thinking to yourself, it's on like a Friday afternoon.
Oh, he's like, we're clear of the line.
You're on the front 9, be like, well, I might not get like the win from EVR, but he's going to hit his placement. I'll get like, a 30 to 1 on his top 5 or something. And like 2 minutes later, it's like, oh God, he's not going to make the cut.
Yep. We know that.
He's that type of guy. I think that you want to take, like you mentioned Chez Reavie. And I think that he's an interesting one to talk about here because his game really hasn't been around. But the Chez Reavie types, Ryan Moore. Why can't Russell Henley win here?
He can, but he's also being priced like he can.
I've seen way better numbers than Russell Henley. I've seen him I've seen him up to 50.
Yeah, I got no. I'm not gonna bash that. I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Past 24 rounds on this course or in this field, first in par 4 scoring, second in approach, 9th in fairways, 9th in opportunities gained. He has been abysmal at this course.
Someone better give me a goddamn clue, because you know what I do when I don't have a clue?
Bet Rahm.
I just bet Finau and Fowler.
Are you gonna stick with betting Fowler?
Not at 4. What's his number?
55,
here?
Isn't he?
It's got to be like, that's not a horrible number, is it? Probably should be 70, but
if his name wasn't Ricky Fowler,
I'd rather bet
he
Finau.
would be 200
I'd rather bet
to 1.
Finau at 22 than Fowler at 50.
I'd rather bet Scheffler than Finau. Scheffler's better than Finau is.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. Sure. They're the same number?
No, Scheffler is.
Oh, he's actually more, maybe.
Scheffler's 19, and I've seen him as low as 25 in some spots, and I think I'm going to bet that.
Finau was not good in Hawaii, right? Who knows? He actually could have had a good weekend. But I know
I feel like he was out of it and maybe made a run. Let's see. I feel like I'm unfairly bashing Tony Finau. No, he was 31st. He was bad.
Yeah. No.
He's just...
I don't care to bet him here.
Like, are we being stupid for just not betting Reed? Like, why are they hanging this Reed number like he's Tony fucking Finau? Seriously. Like, if you took everyone's skills together, you'd be like, oh man, Tony Finau was created in a lab to be good at golf. Patrick Reed looks horrible. Who wins on the PGA Tour? Patrick Reed.
Yep.
Coming off.
What is the best Scheffler number you've seen?
25. But it might be gone now that it was on that one that you had open first. So it might be gone. I saw it right when the odds came out, and I did not act right away.
Yeah, no, it could be gone.
But from way deep, Norlander had a very good ball striking week and missed the cut. Molinari's back, 110-1. The last time that we saw him was at the Masters. He did not play well. However, the time before that at Houston, he actually did play really well. He was like 15th. I know you hate Molinari and think that he'll never get it back again.
No, I didn't say that, but I'm not betting him. I need to see life.
I'm telling you, at Houston, he had life. He was good. He gained in every strokes gain category, tamed 15th. And wouldn't this be the perfect Molinari course? Hit some fairways, get dialed in with your short irons, make a few 20-footers. They're hanging deep numbers on him.
Go bet Doug Gim.
Gim, oh, you know I'm going back to the Gim Reaper well.
Go bet Doug Gim.
Poor guy, man. He had a bad run. Ben Anna's up to 150-1.
That's what I was saying when I mentioned him earlier. You were talking about Keegan.
I didn't realize Redmond was 125. It's a big number on Redmond. I thought he was like 60. He is going to be the guy you have to avoid on DraftKings this week because he's going to be like $7,000 and 50% owned. But every time I fade Doc Redmond, he comes like fourth. That's never fun. Poston.
My memory's bad. Have we spoken about Russell Knox?
Nope. Another guy who missed the cut last week. His driving is so bad now.
That's too bad.
He used to be like automatic fairway finder. And he's getting it back a little bit, but it's not great.
Do you think Phil will be popular this week?
No, I don't.
It could be sneaky, maybe from like a DFS. Or...
Where do we think that he's at now in his career? Did he make the cut at the Masters? He did, didn't he? He played the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to say he did.
I can't remember. Just
like hard to miss the cut at last year's Masters.
Not really. It was the fewest amount of people who missed the cut. Remember they shrunk the rules? Phil was 55th at the Masters. He's not been good on the PGA Tour in a while, although I still believe he's undefeated on the Champions Tour.
I think you're right. This is a nice little place for him, though.
Very comfortable. I saw a new commercial.
His first win ever might have been here.
I thought he
won an amateur.
I thought he won Phoenix as an amateur.
Oh, then maybe it was Phoenix.
Hoagie, Straka. What do you do with Steele? There's another course where he tends to play well. He's down to 100-1 now, but
I'm not betting him, but I could roster him.
Do you think that he would be? Do you think people will go back to him after? Because it's funny because if you had taken Brendan Steele last week, obviously he didn't come through in the betting market. Although if you had played him with an each way, you would have got a very hefty payday out of it. If you took him on DraftKings, he didn't win for you, but he was super cheap and he came third. So it was a good week from Brendan Steele. But it's like what happened to me on DraftKings, where I was up. I was like, oh, this is great, winning like 20K. Then you end the day and you have 2K. You feel like you've lost. And I feel like that is the mentality with Brendan Steele right now. That if you had him, you felt like you had it. It got ripped away. Now you hate his guts and you don't want to go back there. But if it had just gone the other way, where like he was 7th all day, finished in 3rd, it'd be like, oh, good vibes around. Trending in the right direction.
Good sun. Yeah, no, I guess you're absolutely right. If he had like a Chris Kirk Sunday to have that second place.
Yeah, if he wasn't tied for the lead on the back nine.
But they finished in the exact same spot, did they? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Steele hit the putt on 18?
No, he missed his putt on 18.
I turned it back to football for a couple minutes once Nah put like his chip to a foot.
I needed 18. Neiman to make that putt on 18, and he made it.
Good.
I was just like, my wife was looking at me like, why are you so angry? I was like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
It's like I was trying to buy you a new kitchen. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
Fuck.
Von Taylor. These are probably more DraftKings plays. Norlander at 200-1 though does pique my interest a little bit. because he wasn't that far off. Here's the list of guys who were over the past, I'll even extend. No, I'll keep it at 24 rounds. Most accurate players on the PGA Tour in this field in terms of fairways gained against everyone else. Armour, Answer, Keegan, Stewart, Baker. Hahn! Reevey, Moore, Henley, Garnett, Norlander, Stricker, Austin Cook, Mark Wilson, who's won here before, Snedeker, Doc Redman, T. Dunks, Von Taylor, David Hearn, and Adam Long. Scheffler is sneakily 22nd on that list. He's not going to put himself in a lot of problems. And my guy, Paul pointed this out to me when he was going through like the odds boards. The pricing on my favorite guy in the world, the Riddler, John, he's like 70-1 this week.
So is Siwoo.
Siwoo just coming off like a decent week. I was really surprised
At?
the Jon Rahm numbers. You can get him down to like 125 if you can find it. I was surprised that the market adjusted to him so quickly. Like very surprised at it.
That does seem low.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It seems quite low. I'm trying to find him at a different shop, and okay.
Was he 100?
Yeah. It's crazy in this new like world of available gambling that golf betting, you really do gotta have like
8
3
books?
or I was gonna
Find the best
not make
number.
people feel overwhelmed by saying 8 because I probably have an embarrassing amount, but I like to have something in like 3 or 4 because I like to go to the market and
Get
I
your
guess you
numbers.
say go to the mall and just go shopping.
Yeah, you're like Tim. You got the flyer. It's delivered to you. You got some good deals.
Well, it's crazy. Winning is hard enough.
Yeah, you want to get the
So
best
if you're
number.
gonna win, let me like get the most for it, so I have that much more money to give you back.
Makes sense. Paul, how many sports books do you have now? Like 300?
Well, Paul gets kicked out. Listen, I
Paul
still,
wins too much.
Yeah, he gets kicked off. I
mean, I wasn't winning very much last week, but I don't know, probably 12.
Yeah.
I pretty much have a
UFC's
book. If you tell me about a book, I'll make an account. That's how I roll.
UFC 2, I would assume involves like heavy shopping because people can be
Absolutely.
slow. Like golf, people can be slow to move. Football, there's a story. Basketball, there's a trade. Shit's like gone, like instantly.
You could have found some decent numbers like post Patrick Reed withdrew last week because we were talking about him and Berger, and those numbers ended up crashing. But for like a good half hour, some books didn't adjust their numbers.
I will say about last week, Pat, that was one of the more widespread drops to a withdrawal who wasn't even, he
The
was like
favorite?
third on the tout board after Webb and Morikawa.
Yep.
They dropped guys like even up to 50-1.
They didn't drop Neiman though. Neiman stayed exactly where he was all week. It was weird.
That is weird. But guys got even
They knew he wasn't going to play well on Sunday.
I guess, but we see withdrawals all the time, even from top guys. And we know we've got to react if we want someone sort of under 30-1. But that Reed withdrawal, maybe is part of like, maybe they thought their lines were bad to begin with. I don't know. But they gave Reed a lot of credit. Because even like Kevin Na got tumbled. When I saw what Skyler bet him to what he like was, when after I spoke to Skyler about why he liked Na, and then I'm like, nah, I missed like a great number. I'm not betting Kevin Na.
I'm not betting Kevin out
What,
55.
Skyler got like 70 or 80,
80.
or something. No. I'm not like I missed the boat. I'm just out. How nice would it be to cash a 50-1?
I was getting
yesterday?
fired up to cash like a 27-1. just want to hit a winner, man. Just want to hit one.
I wanted you to hit a winner because it's like we gotta
We need some momentum.
Last year started slow too though.
I didn't hit a winner until Hatton. No, until Im.
I hit my first at Torrey, but once it go like a month, I start to get nervous in my own head.
But it's funny because the 2 best years I've had betting, well, I guess the Willett year was the best year that I had because we hit
started career building.
Yeah, we started with this tournament. But the year that I hit, well, last year ended up being really good because there was condensed tournaments and I ended up with like 6 winners because I went Im, then Hatton, then Webb, then DJ, and everything started rolling in. But the year that I didn't hit a winner until Hadwin at Valspar, I ended up hitting like 3 double or triple digit winners that year, that really makes up for a lot of it.
Of course.
You can lose 8 weeks in a row, then hit like 150 to 1. You're like, oh, I'm up money now. This is great.
And some of the books might post you first round leader odds without maybe a full acknowledgement of the course split.
Maybe you have to look around for those.
Yeah,
But I don't think that's that huge of a factor here. Because you can shoot 62 at either course. It's just if you're going to shoot 78, it's probably happening at the stadium course. Because it's not hard, but there's danger. The other one has no danger. So I wouldn't think, maybe they'll just offer straight up first round leader. I don't know. Or even by course. Do you think they canceled the Pro-Am for Pebble? So we're not getting country music stars I've never heard of playing acoustic guitar to Jim Nance. But do you think we get rid of one of those courses? Get rid of Monterey or something?
Probably.
I would like that more. It will make it palatable to watch on TV.
But how will we know how much more dead Clint Eastwood is this
They'll
year?
probably invite him anyway. Clint, you're here anyway. You're not playing. I don't think that he played in the Pro-Am. I think
No, he doesn't play.
I think he's like, how
like,
old is fucking Clint Eastwood?
He's like, it's sort of his, he's like the chairman of it. I don't know if he's actually, but he's sort of like a Sinatra type chairman of the board type
Do you
guy.
think he got the nickname the chairman for that time that he talked to the chair at the RNC? Remember when politics, that was the crazy thing in politics? What the hell is Clint doing here?
Oh, man. Okay.
I'll release my cheat sheet on Wednesday if I decide to hop on some numbers here. But quick picks for the American Express. I am in on Answer at 33 to 1. I'm in at Hoffman and Keegan at 110 to 1 with the top 5 each way. And that's all I got going right now. I want to give a hard look to Scheffler, Im, and Champ, I think. Those 3 guys. I want to find numbers on them.
Answer was my play. I bet that before coming in here, that 33 to 1, Pat. And Hoffman is the long shot that I feel I'll ride that form with him. We know he can get hot. I'll feel naked not betting anyone under 30 to 1. So sure, I'll like take a closer look at that. Maybe even keep it super tight and take advantage of this Patrick Reed situation. Because kind of like last week,
Reed is a name to keep on your radar.
That's what I wanted to say. Everyone got their odds knocked last week with the Reed withdraw. And by the time I was recording and I did a piece with Sky, and I didn't bet it because I had committed bets, by the time the tournament started or Wednesday, I actually saw line value on Webb and Morikawa, who weren't really being talked about at all and kind of showed up at the finish line.
Yeah,
so
he came like 5th or something.
So I do think, these guys, they'll be there, whether it be a Cantley or a Scheffler. You're not going to be able to avoid them. Cantley, also a guy we didn't talk about, might actually be more live than Reed in my head.
Maybe.
I certainly, quick picks was a lie because I'm an idiot. I like Sam Burns. Okay. I could see myself betting Sam Burns, but I'll shop for that number. Tommy Fleetwood in the other thing.
I made one bet. The numbers
Tell me.
changed now, so you can't get it.
In Dubai?
No, for the U.S. Open. I bet Leishman at 125 to 1 at Torrey Pines.
Torrey Pines. Yeah. Why not?
I'm liking what I'm seeing. He still can't drive the ball, but the irons are there. Yeah. He's inching back. We keep getting the numbers on him. He's been close, 4th last week.
And you might want to watch the better golf show on your network today.
The more accurate one?
Yeah, the more accurate one. The one that might have actually talked golf, because I didn't really have anything to say today, and I apologize for that.
One and done picks of the week. We've already alluded to it for the American Express. That Tim is taking Chucky 3 Sticks, Charles Howell III. What do you think, who do you think actually is going to be the most popular pick? Answer? Or do you think people give up on Answer because he missed the cut last week?
No, Answer's popular because it's like I'm not burning like a very top guy, but I'm burning a good guy who like fits the place perfectly.
Obviously, I'm not going to reveal what I'm doing in the giant one and done because I'm playing against all you people out there. But for the purposes of the show, I will take Abraham Answer, much like I took Ryan Palmer last week, but he beat Cameron Smith and he beat Sung Jae Im, so I got the goods for that to pick first. I think in the big one, I'll be looking at, because again, I'm going with my strategy of taking who is the lowest owned guy or the least popular guy realistically inside the top 10. Like, even if you had gone with Hideki last week, it would have kind of worked for you. I think he came 5th or 6th or something like that.
He led the field in what, tee to green, maybe?
Maybe.
Or something important I saw this morning.
Regardless, Rahm and Cantlay, I think, might hold some weight here. If you can squeeze a win out of one of those two, I don't think a lot of people are going to be on them.
Right. Who?
Rahm and Cantlay. They're save type guys, but if you can get them at like 3,
This might be the most under-owned Rahm could be all year.
and it's in California, man. I always play Rahm in California.
On an event he's won at. Like, he'll be more popular at Torrey Pines in 3 weeks than he will here, but the paycheck is what, 100,000 different?
It might be a little bit more than that, but the
I'm
field
just
is
making
but
the
the field
point.
is
Yeah.
4 times stronger.
Yeah, Rahm will be underweight, and so will Cantlay. Based on the strategy that I do implore to other people, but never use myself, when I'm about to say I'm thinking about Grillo,
I was
Rahm or Cantlay.
I was gonna say that the one of those guys that kind of fits that mold because he has a really bad course history here is Henley at 35, or even Wolf because he hasn't played yet. Maybe Wolf is one you can burn and try to take a shot because, upside wise, I went back and looked at his numbers. He's come.
I don't know, Pat. I'm saving Wolf for majors, man. He killed them last year.
He did kill them last year.
It's my turn, right?
It's your turn. I took answer.
Okay, I'm going to just piggyback what you just said. Henley makes sense. I hate this tournament right now.
See, well, I
hate this.
You see, I wouldn't use Henley in ours because we're only playing against. It's only 3 people. You can really go super chalk. I feel in a 3-person event where you can't use the same person as the other people. Whatever. All right. Got somewhere to be?
No. You'd think I do. I got nowhere to be, but I got nothing to say.
You're too excited about the Chargers, aren't you?
No, I'm not even. No, I don't know. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm optimistic.
Deuce Staley. Interesting hire.
It checked a lot of the boxes. It wasn't my first choice, but I don't know anything. Do I know something else funny? You know who else wasn't my first choice?
Anthony Lynn.
No, more specific. Well, I guess that is specific. Anthony Lynn wasn't my first choice, but you know who actually was my first choice in the Lynn cycle?
I do. Adam Gase.
No, that wasn't the same cycle.
I don't know who.
It's so embarrassing. So it shows you my opinion would have been wrong.
Bill O'Brien.
He got fired this at the end of this season also.
At the end of the season?
Yeah.
Doug Peterson.
No.
Who's the guy that coached? Who was the coach of the Lions? Patricia? Really? Oh boy.
That was my first pick when they hired Lynn. So you don't need to take my opinion. But what I was saying was Justin Herbert wasn't my first choice either. But Staley checks the boxes. He's like my age, young, innovative. Let's have some fun.
He's a thumb, by the way. That's not a good thing. He's a friend of McVay.
Listen, we might have hired the least handsome friend of McVay on the coaching tree.
So what you're saying is that you got the poor man's Kingsbury?
I don't know. I like a lot of this checks a lot of my boxes.
What are the boxes then? What does he check?
Like just young, innovative.
I'm young.
Yeah, no, but in a football sense. Like
I'm even younger in a football sense. You hire me.
I wouldn't have complained. You don't know. My list is simple. Like, I like the fact that, like, if you grew up you're all on my list. Because if you grew up playing Madden, to me, you're qualified to coach the Chargers. Because the previous coach didn't. And I believe that actually matters in the sense of knowing how to, like, manage your way through the final 30 seconds. Everyone watching, you literally since you were like 7 years old, you have thousands of reps running a 2-minute drill.
So it's like during the online poker boom when you had like all the old school guys who were like live tournament players and they were doing really well at first. Then all these internet guys who played 100,000 hands just came in and wiped them all out.
Yeah. But no, I don't know. The words, you could always wax poetic about any new coach. But there's a lot of like the words brilliant being thrown around with this guy. So
or other people?
No, other people. I don't know anything. So I'm optimistic. It's not Anthony Lynn. And I have my hair. So, and it's not Jason Garrett. So like, what? You guys want some like reaction here? You're not going to get it. I'm excited.
You were lipping Paul last week. We're going to take your offensive coordinator.
I thought we might, but what do I know? That's great for the Bills. They get to keep Daboll, and I can't imagine he'll want any of the shit show jobs currently available. He could be another hot candidate, unless, Tim's right and Allen throws back to 52%, but I don't believe that. Tim didn't look so accurate on our debate either.
No.
It wasn't. He killed a lot of people.
He sent 2 quarterbacks to the locker room with brain injuries this week after laying down the poor marker on Lamar Jackson. Oh, then he tried to tell us it was a very uncursed weekend. Because the Bucks won.
Answer. Did you hear my coach was a college quarterback, so he has a mind for that side of the ball?
I like that idea. I like that. The quarterbacks and the offensive players who become defensive guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, apparently, whatever.
You know who you should have hired? We never talked about this on the show. I'm trying to remember his name. Mike Singletary. Was he the guy who pulled his pants down to inspire his team in the locker room?
No, you can't win with him.
Yeah, but wasn't that the other thing that he
don't know.
mooned everyone in the locker room?
I don't.
Can't win with him. Can't do it. It's a good soundbite.
All I mean is they went like the route like that I wanted them to go.
Not some retread.
Although minus the fact that I really wanted them to go offensive head coach. But that was this whole theory, different theory.
Does it strike you as if you're going to go and get a defensive guy that the Jets got the classier prospect of coach?
In a sense, they've got like maybe one that seems more polished, but we got what maybe is like a bit of a wild card and someone that people like on a meteoric rise through the ranks. They bring different things to the table.
Well,
I think who the Jets hired is really perfect for the Jets. The Chargers literally hired like a brilliant guy with no experience who never played. They literally did the complete opposite of the coach they had. Like literally. Like where his thing was like about like leadership and father figure. And like he's been a running back and played under Bill Parcells and is from like the Bill Parcells coaching tree. Like we literally went 180 degrees from like what that person represents in the locker room. And I think that's what I asked for. So here I am.
And you got a friend of McVay. Maybe he can name everyone on the other team. That would be nice.
That would be so cool.
Geoff Fienberg, check him out on Twitter at gfienberg17. He'll be back on Wednesday on the NFL Championship round, spread picks and preview. You can also watch him on the Geoff Fienberg Show Wednesdays and Fridays on ftndaily.com. My cheat sheet for the bets will be out on Wednesday. I will be back tomorrow with the DraftKings Show. Whoa, you okay?
Rahm's out. This is a text from the Scores Eric Patterson, so we may as well look into it.
Well, Rahm is still on the betting board here. Scheffler 22-1. I'm going to bet that right now.
Oh, yeah. The guys, everything is tumbling. Everything tumbles.
All right. I got Scheffler at 22-1. So add him to the quick picks. Good looking out, EP. Burns is down to 60.
Have you we just trust that EP's not lying to me, right?
Maybe he knows that we're doing the show. Maybe he knows he would make it a good TV. So, yeah, right now, I'll try to edit this clip and get it out as quickly as possible. Scheffler 22, Answer 33 before those numbers take a nosedive. I missed the good number on Sungjae. He's already down to 20.
He's 25 on
somewhere else?
Somewhere that you can play.
I suggest everyone bet on DraftKingsSportsbook.com. But yeah, Scheffler 22. I'll take that. Fowler down to 40 from 500 to 1 or whatever he should be.
Shit, I gotta make a bet right now.
Okay,
I
well,
don't know who it's gonna be.
I'll let you get at it. You don't have to make a bet.
I gotta take advantage of what's gonna tumble, so I have to just want to make a decision.
Bet Scheffler. Join me on Scheffler. You join me on Answer. You might as well join me on Scheffler.
My wife's calling me. It's probably not to tell me Rahm's out.
My wife? Put her on speakerphone. Tell her she's on the show. Hi, Jeff. What are you doing?
Hello? You're on the show.
Hi.
Do you want to hear my news then?
I don't know.
Can it be aired on the show?
Yeah, it can be aired on the show.
All right, let's hear the news.
I just bought myself and our children a Valentine's Day gift.
Is it nice?
I think so.
Is it expensive?
For what it is, yes.
Okay.
So, sounds like you need to win a golf bet this week, Jeff.
All right. Go Scheffler. Bye, love. I'll call you in a few minutes. Spending money.
You better go make some money right now then.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler, 22-1 along with Abraham Answer, 33-1. Become a member at fantasynational.com right now. fantasynational.com/Mayo to get yourself a discount. Listeners League link in the description. Check out the hockey show, the European Tour show, my first look show for the American Express that came out on Sunday, where I run through the stats. If you want to know how to use Fantasy National or want to dig in to see how I utilize the stats, be like, Pat doesn't know anything. You can glean whatever you want from it. I suggest you go check that out. Sub to Mayo Media Network right now. Thanks you all for watching. I'll see you next time.
That Mayo experience! Experience!